Okay, welcome to this training session. This is the second training session I'm putting up on YouTube, and today I want to be working on my baseball hitting power. Just adjusting the camera there. I have a few ideas of what I want to do today, but I don't have anything like specific planned out. I just brought all the stuff that I usually do, and then I'll try and put together a little session video here where you can see all the different things I do. And yeah, today the topic is hitting power. So what I like to do before I really get started is just to go through the motions. And since we're practicing for power today, I'll just go through the hitting motions, all the 4 steps I have, and I'll focus on hitting hard, basically. But the motions here, the 4-step motions, or sequence or progression, or however I call it, I usually put them into any kind of training session around hitting, because I think it's really good to go through the small movements throughout the hitting technique, just to get the technique dialed in, and then you can focus on whatever you want to focus on for that specific training session. So the only difference I'm doing now is that I'm going through the progression with the different steps, and while I'm doing that, I'm trying to do it as hard as possible. So the first step is the open foot, and just stationary position here. Get in the knees, get the ball out, get the arm up, and then I'm just hitting into the wall, and I'm trying to hit as hard as possible for this particular training session. Oh, And I get the benefit of jogging a bit when I hit the ball away. Get a little bit of fielding practice as well. So I found that there are 2 very different Baseball5 balls. There's the Kenko one, and then there's the teammate Brett one, and this one is more squishy. This is harder. The Kenko is harder, and it doesn't bounce as much. But I found out that the Brett ball, the squishy one, or the bouncy one, is what is being used at European Championship. But I think when I'm hitting up against the wall for hitting practice, I like these because they don't bounce as much. So I know that one went behind me, but should be able to get the other ones, or get most of them. But we'll see. I know if I use the other ball, it will just bounce all over. So I also feel like, it's harder. It's a bit heavier. So when we're practicing power, I guess it's also good for that. Okay, so that was first step. Do a couple more because I don't feel like my technique was there. There, that was in the palm of the hand. And that one as well. Yeah, I'm just focusing on hitting as hard as I can. And so next step is to add a step. So step 2 of the hitting progression is to start with your feet together, present the ball, arm up, and now I'm just stepping out into that open leg while doing the hit. And I gotta focus on getting power and getting like a whipping hand, a whipping arm. But that was high. So all these steps you can also do instead of hitting against the wall. You can just catch it. Like you do that at the airport or while waiting for the bus or whatever. But yeah, now since I'm practicing for power, I want to get the feel of hitting the ball. But for just going through the motions, you don't have to hit it. You can just catch it here. Okay, so next step would be, so starting here again with my feet together, instead of doing one open step. I actually should adjust the camera just a bit. No need to see all that roof. There you go. So the next step here, instead of, this is what I just did, stepping out, I'll just add another step. So I'll do a step behind. I've seen players also do a step in front. That also works. I just feel like, especially when you're going for power, that if you do a step in front, then you gotta really focus on leading with your butt again, to then have the opening of the hips when you go into the hit, because you risk when you do a step over that you're already open, and so you don't get that torquing motion. But you can do both. When we get it into full speed, I sometimes even do like a what do you call that? Just like a switch of the legs or switch of the feet. I think that comes from fielding, but that's also good. It's just I have my fears of doing a step over. You see how my hips are already open. So if the next step is coming through the hit, then I don't have that uncoiling motion. So I'll do a step behind here. So again, feet close together, in your knees, present the ball, arm up, step behind, and then you're hitting. Then you got to look at the ball when you're fielding it. And I have like a little stiff arm. I know that's also what I'm trying to warm up here. So get a whipping arm and get power into it. Like that. That was better. So what I could also focus on in this step here is, there are two things. So one I mentioned a bit is when I'm coming through here, I need to lead with my butt, kind of like, when a pitcher is pitching, they're leading with their back pocket. Shoop. Want to do that, and then also like a pitcher, I want to be trying to almost have like a falling sensation, where I'm shifting my balance out in front of my feet, so I'm falling into the hit. So it could be like that. But that was over exaggerated, but you gotta get a little sense of that while you're doing the motion. So we'll try that. Like that. Oh, no. So yeah, something like that. Try that again. Oh yeah. Okay, two more times. Oh, I tossed that wrong. That definitely shows on the video. So it's also timing drill. That was better. Oh, woo. There you go. Okay, and so the next step here is I'm not going to be in frame for all of it, but or it could be. Then I'm just very close at the wall. But basically, what I want to do is just add some steps before, because I got a big box, and if I'm going for power, I just need all the momentum that I can get. So, I mean, you could like do like several skips. I don't know if you get more speed that way. I feel I get a lot more speed if I'm just facing the general direction of the field, and then I do 1, 2, and then a step behind, and the last step. And because I get up to speed much faster if I go forward like this and then hit it. I'll try I'll try and stay in frame for one of them at least so you can see, but it's going to be difficult for me to stop the ball. But let's see. So something like this. Whoa. There's a risk of catching one straight to the balls. But something like that. So it's a 1, 2 steps, and then step behind. So it's 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll get out of frame so I can really get the power here. So I'm just behind the camera here, and I'm doing 1, 2, and then I have time to stop the ball. And again here, I'm focusing on all the other things that I did, but yeah, it's getting a lot of power in. Oh, bad hit, bad contact. And I also tossed it up too far away from me. So, momentum and power. I'm not too worried about them being high right now, because I'll adjust. Right now, it's really working those muscles that give me the power, is what I'm going for. Yeah. So I have a problem. I'm tossing it too high so that my arm gets really short. I'll try and get the toss down a bit. Oh, that was better. Oh. Oh, yeah. It's a bit cold today, actually. I'm not freezing because I'm moving, but it's like 19 degrees. And that was a terrible toss off. Okay, do one more one or two more that works. Okay, that was good. And done that. Okay, so that's just kind of like my warm up or like dialing into the motions. So now I kind of have the feeling for the entire motion, and I set aside time to work on the specific parts of the hit, and that, at least in my brain, should help me focus on getting the most out of each mechanical motion. So because it's one thing to hit hard, and some players just have really good core muscles, arm muscles that are really strong, and they can just fire it away. But if you're anything like me, or if you have muscle and you just want to add that extra 5%, I think it gives a lot of sense, makes a lot of sense to really work all the mechanics, because yeah, like I said, a lot of power can come from the arm, but there's like most of the power just comes from the entire motion. So once you've done all those small things, you kind of have a better feel for where you can pull energy from. So yes, next thing I'll do is, so one thing I want at a point is like a weighted ball. So this is not weighted, but let's say this was weighted. Then I'm looking for something. I'm thinking maybe I should just get, like what is it called? It's called bull petang. Where you toss like these metal balls, because we could do like just like the motion of hitting, but just throwing it. So it looked like something like this with a weighted ball. But then, oh man, that bounces a lot. But then, of course, you probably wouldn't do it up against a brick wall like that, because you will ruin the wall. Fuck the ball. You'll ruin the wall. But that's an idea. So I don't have that right now. But what I can do is I have this. I'll take the same ball here. So again, the Kinko ball. What I like to do is really do this drill. It's called over-coiling, and it's really to get the sense of coiling and uncoiling, pulling a lot of energy from the core, but it kind of comes from all parts of the body. But yeah, basically it's kind of like what we just did, the first step, where I have my open foot and I'm down in my knees. I present the ball in front of my belly button here, And then when I put my arm up like that, I want to turn my body as far back as I can. So I don't want to be looking this way though, but having the shoulders face backwards is as far as I can go. So it's basically my arm is straight behind me, and then I still need to look at the ball here. And then from here, I can only go forward. So like that. Doing this, I don't feel like I get more power just in the drill here. But what I want to feel is that tension, and how I'm honing that tension, or like really taking advantage of that tension and pulling it forward. So I'll do, and then I gotta watch out not having a long arm. I want a whipping arm. Yeah, I'll do like, I don't know, 10 of these. 1, 2, 3. 4. 6. You can really start to feel it in my back. Get in the knees. 7. Fingertips, that hurt. 8. 9. 10. Whew. Okay. So that's one drill I would do. Then I got, next up, have this. What is this? 5 kilos. I think I overfilled it a little bit, so I think this is like 7. Doesn't really matter. Put it like to the chest. Then I'll hinge down. Very important. You're hinging down. And then moving that water in the hitting motion. This is also like good for just batting, like regular baseball batting. What is that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. This might be a little bit too heavy, but this is what I have. 15. Now I have a wall. Let's see if we can do 10 here. 1. Can even maybe push behind it. 2. Get close to the wall. And lift with the legs, not the back. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Yeah, I can do 10. But now it's pushing myself now. 9. Whew. 10. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring water. Whew. Hey, I can drink off. That's probably not safe. Let's get a breather here. Woo. Okay. And so I think 2 things more. I think one thing I'll definitely do. See how I can record that. So I have that over there. So I'm not gonna show all of it. You're creative enough, but yeah. So what I would do is I would like work the tension, and then slowly release it back. I can get a bit more, and slowly back. And I actually feel, now that I do it, I should probably get it more down because this is closer to. So I feel like all tension here, obviously also in the arm, and then slowly back. Okay, that's one way. Ideally, you would also do it, yeah, with the other side. That's not going to help your hitting power, but it'll help you be more even with your muscles. So you do the back way, and then again, like all the good stuff comes from going slowly back and get more tension. And here you do both, of course. Okay, and then you can do it forward. And then see if I can get enough tension here. Step out like this and then do up. Okay, that was a little less on the left. Up and then slowly down again. And this one you can also twist up and slowly down again. So usually when I do these, I put them at the end of the workout. So that's why I'm not doing like too much of it right now, because I want to repeat the things that I just did. But yeah, just at the end. And it's basically just to, I don't think I have like a set count that I do. It's just like until my muscles are tired. So yes. And then I have this other thing I want to show you. This is like a fielding. It's called Skills Soft Hands. Like you're supposed to put it on your glove hand when you're practicing for baseball. It's just for if you yourself have been told by your coach that you have like a long arm going through the ball, or you have a player that has that and you want to, make him, because you can tell him many times, but maybe it won't change anything. But if you want them to feel this, like how it feels to have that long arm, which is not what we want, put this soft hands on this Skills Soft Hands, or this like catching pad or whatever it's called, fielding pad. Put it on their hitting hand, and just make them make a pretend hitting motion without a ball. So I'll show you, like if you do it the wrong way, you can really feel that wind resistance, and it also feels slow. I'll show it again. All right. I guess if you like just tell them to move this as fast as you can through the air, they should naturally do this. But if they don't, they at least need to get the feeling of this, where you can see how I'm only really passing the air here. That's the only time when we have a wind resistance. So you can feel it when you're doing it, but you can also hear it as a coach that this is the long one. It's like a long swoosh. I don't know if my mic catches it up, but I can maybe word it out. So it says shoo when they're trying to do a long arm. But I'll be quiet on this one with the short arm. What it says, I'll word it out if the mic doesn't pick it up. So I feel like this is not made for this, but it's a good tool to like really illustrate and make them maybe feel like the difference. So yeah, bring that along. So those two last things, not part of my like training session here, but what I will do is that I will go back. Now I did the warm up with the progressions, and then I did the overcoiling. I did the water bag here, the water bag, and the medicine ball. I done that 10 times for each of them. I'll repeat those, and like depending on like, so this is just my reps. I'll do like 3 times 10, so 10 overcoiled, 10 water bags, and 10 medicine ball. Do that 3 times, and then at the end I'll just do, depending on how tired I am, I could do like, actually I think 5 is enough. Like up 5 and 10, 5 or 10, like 5 full motion hits where you're just focusing on just getting as much forward momentum as possible, and just swinging as hard as you can. Uh, the hitting in the end is purely just for getting like picking all those pieces together and getting the feel of like how does it feel holistically, like how does it feel when we do the motions. And then once I've done those, I would do the rubber band. So that's basically how I would do like a training session for hitting hard. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was useful, and I'll just see you next time.